All right, so I'm looking at Nas. I kind of missed this break right here. I didn't miss it. I saw it, but it was before market open. I don't like trading before 9:30, but that already happened. So I don't know. I'm just out of luck with that one. But I have this point right here that I was looking at, and I'm trading only breakouts. So I'm just looking for breakouts, seeing what I can possibly find. This could possibly be something right here. I really don't see much of anything else. We'll see how this closes in the next 5 minutes to take price up. Overall, the momentum is bearish, okay? If you just take a step back and look, we've been pushing up, and the current state is we've been going down since early this morning. That's just the momentum we have, but that doesn't mean there's buyers here or anywhere else. Um, we have like 5 more minutes, and this is already breaking down right here. And again, I'm not going to take any trades before market open, but we do have a break that's already happened right here. I'm not going to chase after it. And if I I don't really feel good taking it down here either, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. May not be a trading day today. It may not be where I really think the best move was this downward action at the break, this break right here. But that happened so early. So we'll see. We got a couple more minutes. We'll just see what happens. Yeah, this doesn't look good in the sense of me finding an entry because it's already breaking. And at 9:30, it can be like really tricky. Sometimes you're lucky if you're already in a trade. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can be lucky and it can just keep going your direction, but sometimes you got to have a hefty stop loss, because it gets really volatile and wicky and all that other stuff at open. So it's just not worth the risk. So let me check news real quick. And there's no news today. No news today. We got 2 more minutes. I really think it's going to break down. But the conflict I have is that I don't have an entry, because I like to get in at the best entry possible at breaks. And if it breaks down from here, the second entry will be right here. And I don't know if the market's going to have that momentum to keep pushing because we know that buyers are definitely present here. We bounced here, buyers bought this up and made higher highs. So we'll just have to see. All right, we got a minute and some change left. And if you look on other charts, there's a gap right at this point, so it definitely will probably try to fill it. 20 more seconds. Let me just erase this because it's no longer going to be a point since we already broke below it, you know? And this is no longer valid either. Hmm. May not be a trading day for me at least. Definitely there is opportunity, like you can get into the sell or whatever, but I'm strictly looking for breakouts and best entry possible. You know what I mean? And I just don't see that today. I just don't see it today. Possibly right here, possibly, but I don't know. It's not like an A1 setup for me. But market is open. Got some heavy rejection going on. Last Monday was fabulous. I'm destined to see how this week is going to go. It is the end of the month. I think we have NFP this week. Yeah, we have NFP this week. So there may be some nice volume this week. I'm definitely going to try to trade Friday of this week just because I know the volume's going to come in for NFP. But today doesn't look like a good day. So far at open, a lot of confusion. Just gonna have to like figure it out. Mm, mm, mm. So I guess I can like explain this too. It's not every day is a trading day. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna give this a little bit of time and see what happens, but I'm not really pressed to show. I meant to just take something just because it's doing something, you know? So I'm not gonna force anything. It does seem like buyers are trying to pick up steam right here, trying to build up momentum. Let's just see what they got. Yeah, I don't think today is gonna be a trading day. This could be a possible breakout level right here, but it's not like an A1 setup for me. Like, it's not, like, good enough, I guess, but, it could potentially break out right here. Um, heavy if you look at hourly, it's a heavy rejection, so buyers are definitely trying to buy this thing up. The momentum is coming through. Ugh. So, another thing that makes this point in time tricky, um, just by the way the market is moving, there is some momentum coming in, but the volume just is just not there. Like, normally around this time between, like, 9:30, between 9:45, the volume is just crazy, and you can tell today is just not present. So, and again, going back to breakouts, I need the volume, I need I need all of that because 'cause I'm trying to get in and I'm trying to, get out, and today is, like, one of those days where I feel like even if I get in a trade, it's gonna be doing a lot of back and forth, you know? So so I've decided I'm not going to trade today, only because I don't have the A1 set up, and I also don't s the volume is not convincing. Not to say that it won't come in, but we don't have any news or anything today, and, it's just, just not convincing. But this would be a particular level that I'm looking at to break above. There may be some breakout levels that will form here in the next, like, 30 minutes, but I don't even think I'm gonna stick around to, like, wait for them. We have a whole week, and I think that this week is gonna be a great week because we have NFP and a lot of other things going on. So, that's what I'm waiting on. And this was another level right here that I was waiting for a break too, but it's kind of far from where current price is at. This would be the closest thing, but then, like I said, it's just not an A1 setup. So, the Bulls are definitely fighting, and you can definitely see that the Bears are present because they're, fighting just as hard. But overall, looking at the chart, um, We did make a recent lower low, and the bulls are like fighting so hard to, pull it back up again, but we'll see what happens. We'll just see how this plays out. I'm not going to trade. I would like to see how it plays out. And then we can look at, after this, we can look at like gold and YM just to see if they had better like opportunities than NQ this morning. And I also want to show you where I would have went in if it wasn't before 9:30, where I really thought the opportunity was. Okay, so now that I see that this is like going down, I'm definitely not trading it just because it doesn't feel good to me to trade it, to be honest. But when I came to the charts earlier, I kind of was rushing. I got like sidetracked this morning. But when I came to the charts earlier, I saw that we had a perfect like setup. Only thing is that was like missing out of the setup was the fact that it was before 9:30. And it was right here, just a break of right here. And we got that break like around, I want to say like 9:10 or well, it was 9:06. We got that break and it went down. And then as you can see, this is why I don't like getting into something before open because it gets really volatile and anything can happen. And to explain open market, just think about people getting into trades and people exiting trades as soon as the market opens. That's what's happening. So sometimes, I kid you not, it does go in one direction, like smooth as I don't know what. It market opens, the market just goes up or it goes straight down. But most of the time, it can be really janky right in the first minute or so. 5 minutes at time, it can be really janky. So we did get this downward action and it went down approximately, I want to say 25 points. Let me see what that's equivalent to on oh, so here's where I had marked it up, but I didn't get into it though. But we went down about 80 ticks, which still isn't bad. A little bit more than that. About 85, 90 ticks. Oh, 100 ticks. Which isn't bad, but as you can see at open, you're basically at went in drawdown and you're still at your entry at this point. And me, I'm like at a point now where it's like I just want to get in, hit target, and then get out. Like I don't really like hovering over trades and babysitting trades. Even though I can't control the markets, some days that's just what happens. But that's just explaining why I don't like getting in before market open. And this thing can very well go down from here. It's just about having patience and holding and all that other stuff. But for me, I just rather wait until after 9:30. Anything can happen at 9:30. So that would have been it for this morning. But besides that, the overall bigger picture of Nas, I really don't see anything else. This could possibly be a breakout zone right here, and it can, very well still happen. Um, seeing this wick here on the 10-minute, some heavy rejection, and then this level right here. But where I'm at today, it's Monday and it's 9:43. Not saying that momentum can't come in and not saying that this can happen, but once it gets like this time, I'm like, I just get iffy about it. You know what I mean? Um, but we can definitely just watch it just to see what happens. But I really do think the rest of the week is going to be fabulous. um, YM on the other hand, let's just take a look at it. YM did its thing. Okay, you can see with this wick, it did come back up, but it did have a zone, a breakout zone that it broke out of. Actually, this was before 9 a.m. anyways. So I'm at 9:30. So I probably wouldn't have, considered that either. Gold, on the other hand, it looks like it just broke out around 9:30. Yeah. Gold did have a setup. Gold actually had a beautiful setup that looked way better than Nas at this point. And again, this is hindsight, but I usually don't look anything. Try to just trade one instrument, okay? Um, but gold had a great breakout this morning, right here, like around 9:25, broke out. And gold nine, it doesn't really matter with gold. I would say if you want to trade like a good like New York session for gold, I think like around 9:15 is a good time to come in. Even before that, gold has moves, but it's not really set like at 9:30 like how the indices are, like how Nasdaq, YM, and S&P. But I do see a lot of volume coming into gold like around like 9:15, 9:30 time frame. So this would have been a good setup too. But too bad I wasn't, I normally don't look at gold. And wow, look at Nat Nas. We got some momentum coming up, and this looks like it's trying to break out. And this is like so tempting to take right now. Even though I said I wasn't going to trade, it's so tempting to take. So tempting. Ah, beautiful, beautiful breakthrough. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, we got a rejection. Yeah, we rejected really hard. Not really hard, but we clearly the sellers are like, nah. So let's just see if the buyers are about it today. Let's see if we're gonna push above this wick. Nope, we're not able to push above it, which is all good. It's all good. Okay, so this is why I didn't want to trade today. I didn't trade, but I'm just saying, like, I just have like these instincts of like, I just feel like the way I see the candlesticks form sometimes, and like how slow the market, I can just tell it's just going to be a drag, and it's going to be a little choppy and this and that. So that's exactly why I was like, nah. But I think the best bet today was definitely gold. As you can see, this thing is still pumping down. Um, so basically, I just look for breaks, okay? Just breaks. So this would have been a great area. You see that price is in, not necessarily, it was moving sideways and then we broke down. Not necessarily like the most perfect looking downtrend, but you can see that the current momentum was bearish. We bounced off this level, and you always want price to, retrace and do its thing, and then you want to get in at the momentum of that break, and that's exactly what we got with gold. Pulled down, would have got in, pulled down, and retrace it, and then boom. Gold was beautiful this morning. I may consider gold too, just looking at it in the mornings, even though I only the so I guess let me just explain this too. The main reason why I only like looking at NQ versus looking at multiple things, because I know if I just focus on NQ, I'm only taking high probability, right? And I think less is more. And I used to be the trader. Like before trading only sees, I used to trade a pairs, and I would be on like seven different like currency trades at a time. And it's just not worth it for your mental, you know what I mean? So at least in gold is tanking. Mm. But at least with just sticking to one thing, it cuts out so much noise, and it cuts out FOMO and all that other stuff. You know, it's either your setup is there or it's not. If it's not, you go on about your day. And if it's there, you make money, you know, and it's just simple as that versus, oh, I'm gonna look at five different things and dang, 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 I'm watching FOMO and I'm losing this. Just too much. It's just too much. So I really recommend, especially as a beginner. I don't even want to say beginner because I know professionals that only trade one thing, one instrument, and that's it. So if you want that peace of mind, one thing is great. Does it mean you're going to have opportunity every day? No, but it just gives you that like peace of mind. But I have been looking at gold for a very, very long time. I used to trade it a lot when I traded with forex brokers. But just now I switched to futures, and I mainly trade indices, and I do trade forex, but it's just indices. I've been looking back at gold and I do see opportunity, but my first thing I always look at and put all my like eyes on and attention to is always NQ. But gold, there's so much opportunity in gold. And I think like other sessions too, there's opportunity in gold also. Um, but it may be a thing where if I don't see something in NAS, I'll just trade gold. But I also don't want to start the habit of having to trade every day. You know, just because I see a setup just taking the trade, I'm trying to leave that and go into more of a just more of a, this is the one thing I trade, and if the setup's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. So we are starting to break out. It looks like no, we're not starting to break out, but we were trying to push up again and break out of this area with Nasdaq. Uh, Now this is tempting. I may risk like half of what I would on this, just because. Where is, all right. I may just get out of this because I wasn't supposed to trade it, guys. I wasn't supposed to trade it. The FOMO is real. The FOMO is real. So I think I'm just gonna get out of it. Let's just let me just give myself a little bit more time. Mm, mm, mm. Um, um, All right. Luckily, I only like did like half of what I normally would risk on this. I shouldn't have taken this at all, even though I just said I wasn't going to trade because I just didn't feel it at all. But I'm glad that like people can see this like firsthand of what like FOMO really is. Um, Hold on one second. I can't really see anything in the chat. Hold on. Awesome. Good, good, good. I'm glad that you made some money with gold. Like gold is like I feel like well, I don't think people sleep on gold. I know a lot of people that trade gold, but I'm just saying I think gold is like a silent like money maker. Like there's so much money into gold. So much money into gold. I don't know if Nas is gonna pull through. I try to tell myself that this wasn't the A1 setup, but it's okay. It's all good. Um, what was I gonna say? It's starting to push through. It's once I get, going to get out because I wasn't supposed to take it. Okay, and I don't want to like start these bad habits or show you guys these bad habits because I said I wasn't going to take it based off of my how I felt. But as you can see, price is back at my entry and it just wasn't a setup that I wanted to take. Okay. Um so I ended up breaking even on it. You know what I mean? So I'm just not trying to start, those habits. I'm just not. It's just not worth it. It really isn't. So if you have the intuition and you have like that feeling that is not the best setup, you don't think it's going to work, this and that, then definitely Trust your gut. Always trust your gut. Always trust it. But yeah, for sure, gold to me definitely is a money maker. Um, so even though that this came back, up, and I was able to break even and not lose any money, I guess this is just being authentic. I don't know, or being real. This can very go up and make hit my target or whatever. Either way, I just want to make it known that I still have to stay aligned with what my setup is and what I'm trying to look for. You know what I mean? What exactly what is what I'm looking for. The reason why I didn't want to go with this is because the candlestick formation wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. But again, this very well can go off and it can do what it do, but I just didn't feel it would go right. Luckily, it worked out in the sense that I didn't lose any money, but this just wasn't like a high, quality setup for me. And again, I guess to be just to because the market, you really can't control what happens. Let's say that this works out and it just goes up and continues to go up. Um, you still, as a trader, should still have something that is set and solid that you execute on. If you don't have anything set and solid that you execute on, and you're just executing on whatever, it doesn't build, that structure and that confidence and everything else that that you need, that foundation that you need as a trader. Because there's going to be times when the market just goes off and it's not your setup, but it's just going to go off, and you're going to catch that FOMO. You're not going to like it and this and that. But my thing is, I rather constantly trade my setup, be confident in that, and have that foundation than being lenient and doing this or whatever and not having anything solid, because it's like a business. You have to have a system. You have to run it like a business, have a system, um, and stick to it, stick to the plan. Don't be messy. What I did just now was kind of messy because I caught a little FOMO. Luckily, I was able to get out, but always trust your gut. Always go by those instincts, because the market just seems shitty to me today. And getting into this, yes, it broke out, came back in, and it broke out again. But my setup and what I'm looking for, especially certain candlestick formations, and then also once I'm in a trade, the momentum, I want it to go straight up, like straight up. What am I doing? Straight up. Once price like starts doing this, it's just not the trade for me. Breakouts, momentum, I need all that, like volume. That's what I'm looking for. And today, just by looking at market open, we didn't have that, So, but Terry, do you normally look at gold? You said you traded gold. When did you trade it? Was it this morning or just now? Oh, because I mentioned gold. Okay. Well, I feel really special. I feel really special. Thank you. And I'm glad that, I hope you make some money. I've been talking to you about gold for a while now. Is there any way you could come on here? Because I feel weird talking to you through text. We're gonna have to, you know what? Probably not today because I have no idea how to do that. But we're gonna have to find a way
So what should I do?
for you to come like share or have like conversation. Or do something. But I know I've been talking to you about gold for like some time now, and I always mention like, hey, gold does this, gold does that, this and that. And I think I want to keep it to one thing, of course, but I also want to let me just rewind that. I want to keep things simple, okay? But I know that Nasdaq, the Nas 100, is super unpredictable. Like some weeks it's great, other weeks it's trash, yada yada yada. But I wouldn't mind having something in the back pocket that hey, I don't see the opportunity on Nas. It's not moving the way I would want it to move. Let me go check out gold. As you can see today, it had a great momentum today to go down. Nas, on the other hand, you can see we're going up, but look at how we're going up. That is not, it's going up, yeah, but like who wants to deal with that versus what you see on gold? Yes, there were some pullbacks, but the momentum and it was there. It just looks way cleaner, you know? And granted, it may not be like that every day for gold and vice versa with NASDAQ. It can flip flop. But I think it's good to, to see opportunity in other things. But like I said before, I think less is more. One having one instrument is great. I would do no more than two, especially for like a day trader.
Oh,
But but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Would you look at gold more, Terry? Yeah, I do agree. It's not always like it's not always perfect, but I'm definitely gonna like test it out though. Test it out and just see. But $400 with micros, that's not bad at all. Like that's really good. That's really good. But since it was a no setup day, I don't want to say no trade because I technically did take a trade and I got my butt out of it. Um, there was really no setup for me today. Um, like I said, I was waiting for. price to break out of here, and it looks like we broke out and we're starting to go up, but it's just not clean. Like we're struggling, and the thing that I would like to see that will like let me know that momentum is here. We have a breakout, we pull back, and then we break out. We do a huge breakout rather than just go up a little bit more and then come back down. That just lets me know that the momentum isn't there. So we shall see. But that's all I have for today. I think at open, I'll just I'll get on here like around like 9:15, 9:20, and I'll look at gold also. I'll just start looking at gold, see what I see. Not gonna say I'm gonna get in, but just to see what I see in it and then go from there. I do prefer Forex charts like on TradingView versus the NQ or GC charts. This is an NQ chart right here, but I just prefer this chart. And I know that everyone's like, it looks the same. People think that. A lot of people tell me it looks the same. For me, I think the candlesticks form open and close and form differently. And it may be just a me thing. It may not have anything to do with anything. But I feel like I can just chart better and I can see areas better with the Forex chart versus the NQ chart. They are the same thing. Basically, the price points are off. Like NQ right now is at 23,508. NAS right now is at 23,366. So the pricing is off, but the charts are pretty much the same. But also for me, and I shouldn't even have said this because I think it's just going to confuse people. I feel like the candlesticks form better on the Forex chart, and I can chart better, and I can see things better. But yeah, but I'm gonna get ready to get off of here. And like I said, I think that this week is going to be I think it's going to be a great week. It's going to be fabulous. We have NFP. I think there's volume coming in. I think today was just a lazy day to get ready for a really intense week. And I will make effort to look at gold. YM, on the other hand, um, it does have moves, but I feel like YM is just a lot of fake outs when it comes to like entries. But gold was pretty solid. Gold was pretty solid this morning. So 9:15, we'll look at gold, we'll look at NAS, and just see what we can find. All right. I hope that you guys like gained something from the stream. And yeah, I'll see everyone tomorrow.